दिसंबर याद है,
याद है, याद है।
16 दिसंबर की लड़ाई जारी है,
जारी है, जारी है।
औरतों को सुरक्षा के पिंजरे में कैद करना बंद करो,
बंद करो, बंद करो।
Yes, 3 years later, the laws have been changed. Funds were allotted, fast track courts were supposed to be set up, but on ground, has anything changed? Do the young girls of the national capital feel any safer? So I'm joined here today, 3 years later, on a cold winter's night, by youngsters of the national capital, young boys, young girls. Tell me today, 3 years later, do you feel any safer in the national capital?
I think our idea of safety has been determined by a lot of other people, and as women we're never given the right to even speak about what we demand in terms of safety. Give us street lights, give us anti-sexual harassment committees at universities. In fact, after December 16, where a discourse of safety should have kick-started on the basis of how we can imagine a public space where there are a lot of women, we don't speak about that, and all that we're speaking about is कि आप hostel का timings मतलब और ये कर दो, कम कर दो, मतलब 8:30 का टाइम को 7:30 रख दो because the Delhi is unsafe.
So what we are saying is that the safety of women, young girls, cannot mean that we cage them.
Safety is a very complicated issue. It's not like, there should be more CCTV cameras, there should be more policemen, which would lead to safety. Safety is something which will have to be it will have to be a public discourse. It will have to be questions about infrastructure. What happened on 16th December did not happen because she was out there at night on the street. It happened because she was there alone on the street and she was in the bus alone. Today when we are standing 20 women here on the streets, we have been walking across CP screaming that 16 दिसंबर याद है, पर फिर भी आज हम बाहर हैं और हम लड़ेंगे.
When you go to the police to report an incident or you go to your university, do you think there is a sense of sensitivity with which they deal with the issue? He's nodding his head. No?
Yesterday, a similar incident happened with me. So I was sitting with my female friend in around Karol Bagh Ridge. You have that monument here, Bhuli Bhutiari Ka Mahal. I was sitting there around 5:36. So, so a policeman comes to us and says, how can you sit here post sunset, post dark? If you would have been two males, it would have been a group, even co-ed. Then it would have been fine. But a girl and a boy can't sit here.
Or even at Occupy UGC, where you say, you are supposed to have women constables to deal with women subjects. But is that the case? That's always... you don't really have women constables.
And in terms of sensitive, like if you see Delhi University, the Delhi police comes up with big posters as like being a woman should not make you feel vulnerable. Like, is that your concern or is that your idea of being sensitive to women who want to assert themselves? Like there is this woman who is holding books and like that is how a woman can even loiter in streets, like with a purpose, with a book.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. Questions like what was she doing at such and such time? Who was she with? Do you encounter questions like this on a day-to-day basis?
I mean, these are questions that basically dictate the bad girl, good girl dichotomy. The idea, like the law, says that like sexual harassment or sexual outrage means outraging the modesty of a woman. So you have to first prove that the woman
was
modest enough to have been outraged.
Yeah.
Or the woman was virgin enough to have been raped, or the woman was good enough to have been harassed.
Also, what is the role of the men? How do the boys fit in this whole scenario? Are the rules same for them? And this whole notion of the protector, the man has to be the protector. Do you find yourself fitting in that role, or you think that women don't need protectors,
अरे ना वार्डन ना भाई,
महिला लड़ेंगी अपनी लड़ाई,
ना वार्डन ना भाई,
औरतें लड़ेंगी अपनी लड़ाई.
Yeah.
I think they have given the answer. They have given the answer.
But do you feel the pressure as a boy, as a man in the city? Do you feel the pressure that you have to live up to that role?
I don't feel the pressure. I'm just worried. अगर आप अपनी लाइफ में आप जो करना चाहते हैं, अगर वो खुद आप चूज नहीं कर सकते, then what kind of empower you will not feel adequate. You will not feel a complete person if you cannot choose your own life. You cannot choose when you want to go out, when you want to come in. If you cannot choose, you are not complete as a person. So
I
I'm
mean,
just
what
worried
we're
about
asking
that.
for is a
That-
simple thing, isn't it? For a woman to be able to walk the street without being harassed.
right to take our own risk.
Yeah.
आप हमारा रिस्क भी तय करते हो और हम उस रिस्क को ले आगे लेके जाए नहीं ले वो भी आप तय करते हो.
I think this is also about the media, you know, the way media reports cases and, you know, the way they like to dissect a woman's character or try to pinpoint these cause for the rape. So, I mean, this is also the way these kind of discourses get served to an average middle class Indian household, which then propagates the same kind of notions.
What do you want to achieve today? You're out with banners, you're going to take a bus ride. What is it? What is the idea behind this whole thing?
I think an imagination that at night lot of women come out in public spaces. So as young women we are going to take that bus ride and say that, see, we are urging everyone to come together and envisage a future in the city where women are there out in the night.
It is about us coming together, occupying public spaces and creating new imaginations about how this city could be different for women from all sections of society.
Absolutely. We wish you all the best. Thanks very much.